And if not, just let me know and I can stop the recording too. So to get started, just so you know, the slideshows I'm going to go ahead and put into the chat box. And the slides are more of a way so that I can just stay on track. Some of my tilters are in here, so you know that it's really easy for me to get off track really quickly. If you could just share in the chat box right now, how are you currently organizing your digital assignments? That would be great. Do you guys know how to find the chat box? Let's see here. Found it. Good job, Tanya. Of course you did. Seesaw. Okay, great. Topics by the week. Awesome. In Classroom. Seesaw for K3 and Classroom for 4-5. Oh, nothing like a little management. Awesome, Jamie. Yeah, I'm excited to hear like the parent perspective too. So kindergarten is using Seesaw. List them by the day. Okay, cool. Amplify Science. Okay, very cool. Weekly topics. Awesome. So this, if you didn't notice, this is stemming from an article I found by Casey Bell on packaging digital assignments. So I'm just going to real quickly go through. You guys found the chat box, which is just amazing. But before we get started, I do have a few norms. So you can see those there. Pretty standard if you've ever hung out with me. I would love for you to be vulnerable. And we are pretty small. I think there's only like 12 of us. So feel free to unmute and visit and have some adult conversation today because I sure need it. So please be as interactive as you're comfortable with today. And let me know if you can't see or hear something. Can you guys see my screen right now, obviously? Okay.
Can't. I'm not sure what I did. I messed something up. Sorry.
Oh gosh, that's okay.
I can see us. I can see the grid, but I can no longer see your screen. So
maybe I did something.
What I did.
Let's see.
Because I couldn't get the chat to come up either, and usually I can.
I wonder if it could totally be on my end.
Could you go up to, at the very top of your screen, it says view options and it's like a little drop down. Do you have that on your screen?
It says view, manage participants and show chat. Okay, now I can see the chat, but I can't see her screen for some reason.
Amy? Oh, Maddie, you're muted. Oh, there we go.
Do you see, Beth, like the green box though that says you are viewing Shelly Stanton's screen up at the top?
No, it's almost like Zoom is relaunching.
Oh no.
But I can see you guys. Should I rejoin?
Yeah, try that. I know there was an update today, so maybe it is.
Okay. I'll just completely click out. You guys ignore me.
No, we don't want to ignore you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you in a second. So, okay. What color are you here? Green, yellow, red? About how just life is going in this remote world.
At the moment, yellow.
At the moment, yellow. Awesome.
Yesterday, red.
What's that?
Yesterday was a red day.
Was it? That's the truth. Yeah.
Can definitely change from hour to hour, but I think a yellow is where I'm at.
Yellow. Yeah. Tanya and Chrissy say yellow also. Maybe because it's Friday, we're feeling kind of yellow because we get a break for a couple days. I think yellow is a good place to be. I think if you're totally green, then you started drinking earlier than I do on most days. And no matter what color you are, I just want to remind you of this too, which I know you guys know because I know all of you as teachers, But right now, it is just so important for us to remember that, like Maslow, right? So school really is the top of the pyramid. So as much as we're pushing things and all of that jazz, my favorite thing about this group that's here is you're making those connections with the kids and your own kids, because this is a stressful time. So avoid perfection and just do the very best you can to stay connected to those kiddos. All right. So these 3 things I wish I would have taught everyone before we were in a pandemic. Does anyone agree with these? Is there any you would have added to this list that you wish we would have known before we were going to off-site teaching? I'm seeing nods and headed to the chat room. To turn off notifications. Yes, 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 yes. And to teach our kids to do the same thing would be, yeah, and it's okay to do that, to turn them off. That way, if you do turn off the notifications, like Tanya is mentioning, then you can set some parameters. If you're constantly getting bombarded with classroom notifications, it's really stressful. So just in case you don't know how to do that, I'm gonna do quick tutorial on it because it's so important. So when you're in Google Classroom, you go to these 3 lines over here on the left, scroll all the way down to settings, and then here is notifications and email notifications. You could turn it completely off. So that would mean, and it's only yours. If you're a co-teacher, it doesn't mess with their stuff. So if you turn it completely off, you're not going to get classroom notifications. You can see I have mine on for just a few things, like private comments on work, and then late submissions, resubmissions. I would say a lot of you are middle school or health and PE teachers, though. Late submissions and resubmissions right now could be overwhelming in your inbox. So turning those notifications off is a great time saver for you and your kids. I think I have Connor's up here. And I just wanted to show you a teenager's email. No matter how many times I've told him to turn off his notifications, he won't listen to me. So if you guys want to tell him, maybe he would listen. So this is his email. And then teachers are saying, well, we sent an email, but I'm sure he can hear me talking about him. You think he appreciates that? Probably not. This is what his email looks like. And so this is the majority of our teenagers.
If it makes him feel any better, Shelly, Hunter's is like that too.
Yeah. And so I think one thing we've made the mistake on is not teaching our students to turn it off as well, right? Because then if a teacher sends a specific email to him, he doesn't even check it. So, little bugger. It does make me feel better that he's not alone. All right. So I wanted to do some demos, and this was the first thing I wanted to talk about in Classroom. But before I get started, what is working for you in Classroom for organization? That sounded, your faces are cracking me up. You all took a deep breath.
The topics are definitely really useful. And I previously was doing topics by like the unit that we were working on. So like we're working on the country of, you know, in Europe. And so that would be a topic. And now it's by week. And so just everything for the week is in a topic versus keeping it by like the unit we were working on. Just because our life right now is week by week, you know?
Yeah, I absolutely love that, Maddie. So in classwork, if you're not using topics, it sounds like a lot of us are though, you can see over here on the left, these are topics. So kids can just click on that topic to get to that section. And I love that idea of creating topics by dates, like Maddie suggested, so then kids know what week they're on. The other thing I love about that, which I'm sure you guys have experienced, is our kids are behind. And so they're starting way back 2 weeks on their work instead of maybe focusing on now or on the 2 weeks or whatever the teacher wants them to do. So just create topic. And let's say you have a bunch of random stuff in here. The Berg family is joining us. Yay! So let's say, like right here, this is a discussion question. Maybe I want to put all of my discussion stuff under a topic. I can really quickly go to create topic, add the topic, so discussions. It doesn't need a period. And then drag, so where did my discussions go? Now I can just drag it there. I can easily, you know, move things around. I see here. Oh, great idea, Beth. So an efficiency thing is to go to people and then look by the student at their work. Is that what you're referring to, Beth? So if I go to like Kim, I can see all of Kim's stuff right here. Awesome. Yeah. Yes, Anna Hannah. Woo! Anna Hannah. I just love saying her name because it's really fun. But is to add a due date. Yes, yes, yes. So when you look at, and I can look here, so you can see these are all the classes that I'm either the teacher of or that somebody has shared with me, like Miss Mandy there. And I can see the ones that have due dates and the ones that don't. There's lots of reasons to put due dates. One is because when a kiddo logs into their classroom, they're gonna see what they have due. And the other thing our kids are using a ton is the to-do list. So this is obviously from the teacher side. So I can see what I have to do and what's been done. But on the kid side, it'll have the same thing. If it doesn't have a due date, it just goes all, like, look at all mine without due dates. So as a student, I don't know what to focus on. So those due dates are super important. I love that. Anything else on what's really working for you well for assignments? I'm mostly just enjoying looking at your faces since I've only looked at 2 faces in several days. I listed on here too is to number and use really, really clear titles, which I'm sure most of you are doing. So if I look, I'm gonna go back to my Google Basics classroom. You can see that most of my assignments have a number. So before something that would be turned into PowerSchool or whatever you want, I always list a number for a couple of reasons. One, the number is a great way for you to send an email like, hey, you haven't done number 008. You can go to the classwork and do Command F. You guys, have you taught your kids Command F? If not, I have a little video you can send them because it's the greatest thing ever. So I can just press Command F and then search 003. It's gonna find any, oh, I don't have any 03s, so 03. So it's right here. So I know right away what my teacher is referring to. The other thing I can do too, is I can then use that same reference in PowerSchool. So whatever assignment I used in Google Classroom, I'm also going to put in PowerSchool so that the kids can reference back and forth. And so by using this naming scheme, it just makes it way simpler, especially because a lot of folks have talked about they want to get rid of the old assignments. Well, if you number them, it isn't quite as cumbersome. So creative PE, yeah. Yep, I got the mute. Okay, so very cool. Numbering assignments, using clear titles. The one thing too I've noticed is the difference between the extensions right now and the actual work the kids need to do. And so a suggestion I have is to put it right into the title. So like this slides toolbar, I think I would write in the title, put the word extension. Because if your kids' parents are like me, I make Connor open his to-do, and I'm like, you've got stuff to do. And he's like, but I don't have to. That's an option. And Lord knows you would never do anything extra to learn. But so then right inside of that to-do list for those kids, it would say what's an extension, what's required, and I would maybe put those things right in the title. All right, topic, we talked about that. Due dates, awesome. And that numbering, so this is from Maddie and Sarah, but using those, the either daily or weekly as the topic is a genius idea to help those kids stay focused. Many of you have taught my child, who I love, who is also very unorganized. So this would be amazing for him, just to help him organize. Oh, and since you guys all have these slides, I'll link them again in the chat box. This is just a little video that you can send to your students to teach them to use that Command F. So if they need to search something specific, either in classroom or reading, it's just a really great digital tool for them to have. All right. Ooh, I can't wait to hear from you guys on this one. How are you guys sharing your weekly or your daily plans?
This really amazing teacher of mine taught me Canva. So, and so I've been using Canva, but then I saw, I think that Callie shared out, and it might have just been for 3-5 teachers, I'm not sure, but she shared out Lori Rivero's slide that she makes each day.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I've been doing a Canva poster each day and sharing that as a PDF, but I think next week I might share the slide.
That is awesome. I love it.
Change it up a little bit.
Did it look like this, Mandy, like this right here?
No, if you go, well, let's see. If you go in my classroom, you can see my poster.
Okay.
Can I load a PDF on here? No.
Yeah. Yep. So in the chat box under the 3 dots, you can, I thought you could add a file. Oh, it looks like it's gone. Of course. Hi, Piers. Shoot. So, so right here, you're making this really cool graphic.
Right.
Of your, oh, that's cute, Mandy. Love Mrs. Bacon.
I think I'm going to change it and do the slides next week.
Very cool. One thing I like about the slides, like if we were to look at these slides, is it could go throughout the week. Like you could just update it, but have the same slideshow for the week, which might be pretty cool. These slides I really like too, because they have a spot to put a little video. So if you wanted to do like a morning welcome message or whatnot, very cool. Anyone else for how you're sharing your weekly or your daily plans with kiddos? No, Katie, your kiddos are fine. And you know what? I think they just like to use it as an excuse, honestly. You're funny, Katie. We're all building the plane as we go, so.
I just have been creating, like with my to-do list, I show my screen and with Screencastify and just read through my directions and then post that video along.
Chrissy, I love that. A lot of you know my kiddo is 14, and his favorite part of his day is when he gets to hear one of his teacher's voices, even if it's I know, right? That's like, no way. I know, you should see him. He just smiles. So as much as they act like they don't love you, they really do. And so I love that. If you're using your voice at all, will make a big difference for them. So I've seen it week at a glance, day at a glance, whatever works for you, I think is great. This linking the assignments is pretty powerful. And one of those things I think that I missed the boat on showing everyone how to do. So when you're in Classroom, I'm gonna hop out of Mandy's here. I'm gonna go to Google Basics. These 3 dots next to any assignment right here allows you to copy a link to that assignment directly. So I can do like copy link, and I could even just do it maybe, well, okay, no, we know we're not gonna do it in email because kids don't read email. But maybe it is an email to parents or a doc or the slide that we want our kids to fill out. So again, I was here, these 3 dots, if I press copy link, the link to that direct assignment will go wherever you want it to go. So that could be PowerSchool. So maybe your kids have zeros and they say they don't know where to find it, or they tell their parents they can't find it. So do this first, because that's the other thing our kiddos are struggling with, is with these weekly options, they're doing the things they like first, which then sometimes I see some nods, and then sometimes it isn't advantageous to them because they're not getting what they need first, some of those foundations. So then when you go through, this could be in slides, this could be in Canva, this could be in whatever. So then when the kids click that link, it takes them to that direct assignment. So I think that's pretty powerful too. Ideas, thoughts? Oh, nice. Yeah, put it in the PowerSchool notes. Especially because most parents aren't going to know how to interact in Classroom unless they hack their kids' accounts, and most teenagers aren't going to share that information. So if you put that link in PowerSchool, then the parents would know.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I've just been screenshotting or shooting the like assignment in Google Classroom when I respond to parents, or giving like, go to classwork tab, then in the topic such as, and you're like giving these multi-step directions. But if you can just, here it is, like get your kiddo there. And I've actually, anytime I link like documents, if it's not an assignment, I change it so it's view by anyone with the link.
Oh, nice.
So that way parents don't have to have a Billings Public School account to see the material.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I love that. You're getting kudos in the chat box too.
It's Pierce, he gets the
Yeah, he's so cute. Another idea for parents, especially now that this is looking like it's gonna last a little bit longer, is making your Google Calendar that connects with Classroom public. So when you're in classwork, I know most of you know this, and you're using due dates, If you go to Google Calendar, it's going to connect to your calendar, but each classroom creates its own calendar. So first period English has one, Mrs. Bacon's has one, Mrs. Moore's PE has a Google Classroom, and they come over here on the side. And there's a good chance you've turned them off because it's kind of overwhelming on your calendar. But what you can do, so Google Basics is my Google Classroom we're in right now. I can press on these 3 dots right here, settings and sharing. And then when I scroll down, I could make that Google Classroom calendar public. So teachers would, or parents, anyone you shared the link with could see due dates, assignment descriptions, any descriptions you put in the assignment, and then possibly the links. They may not be able to open the links because it's in the kids' accounts, but they can at least see and check in with their kids on what they need to do. So I made it available. Get shareable link, here it is. So this huge link, I could copy this link. I could put it in that email to the parents. Here is our calendar. You add the hyperlink. I know you guys know how to hyperlink because you're like pros. You've been digital teaching and tilting for a while. But then this is going to open all of my calendars. Well, maybe not. Let's look and see what it does. So then parents can know what's happening. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see. Any other thoughts on how to share like our weekly jazz? This is called wait time, and it's really, really hard in a digital environment. All right, awesome. This was, I put this template also in the slides. It's really cool. So Kaylee Hennessy actually created a Google Sheet. And so she's got like her down here, she's got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the assignments. And then remember too, the other thing you could do to really beef this up is link your Google assignment right there, or link whatever it is. So I thought that was also, she's obviously took tons of time to make it the first week, and then she's just updated it. And she's made that available to you. So if you press template here, it's gonna take you to something that you can customize if you want to. Thanks, Kaylee. Oh, and we talked about this cool slide too. Yeah.
I was just going to say that's awesome. And I think whatever it is you choose to do in regards to kind of setting up that structure is just that routine, and that you've got something in place. It might take a while, but just keep repurposing it every week, every day, whatever that is.
Yeah. And I think one of the biggest questions I've been getting to is there's a few kiddos who just, no matter what you guys are doing, it's just too big of a leap for those kiddos to move to this digital environment. And one of the things I did, because this is my own child, he was just like, no thanks, I don't want to do that, is making them keep Google Keep notes that I can collaborate with them on. So it's a really cool tool in this time. So you can see, like, we'll look at his math because that's going to be pretty big. I just made him a little check, and this is just one-on-one. So this would just be for that specific kiddo, right? So here's the things you have to do. Here's a link specifically to it in Google Classroom, because I had to help him take this many weeks of stuff and move it smaller so that he could focus. So sharing a keep note is also a way for maybe those kiddos that just need some one-on-one. All right. How we doing? This is the time we would play a game if we were in real live world. And good news about games, I think we're almost there. I'm gonna actually go there. So quizzes, Time to Climb, and Kahoot, for sure, all work self-paced now. So you can actually, if you're thinking of ways to engage your kids, you could put those on there and maybe have leaderboards if there's some critical facts that you need your kiddos to go over or skill practice. So all of these actually can work in a self-paced environment. Yeah, Anna, so that keep note. So when I make this, so this could be for Anna Hannah, you gotta spell the whole name. And then I could make show check boxes and then do this, and I would just share that specific note with that student, and then they have it in their keep, I have it in my keep. I can see what they check off. I can even uncheck it and be like, oops, not done, you know. So yeah, you can collaborate back and forth and keep. Great question. Okay guys, so this, I skipped one setting slide and we'll go back to it, but engagement, how's it going? I would love to know tips, tricks, ways you're getting your kiddos to check their assignments, either it's your Seesaw or your classroom. I love that, Tanya. The kids interacting back and forth. Oh, not so good. So like with each other. A daily attendance check-in, that's awesome. One of a teacher that I'm working with is putting like fun discussion questions, and that's their attendance check-in. So even if it's an answer to a joke. Do you want to say hi?
I brought them for you.
Oh, thank you. There's a bunch of teachers on here, you know.
Really?
Yeah. There's Mr. Berg. There's Anna Hannah and
Miss
Katie. Miss Leffler. Beth was here a second ago, but she maybe went. Yeah. See, he's excited to see people too. Okay, so maybe the pairing isn't a good idea. What I was thinking though is if you could pair kids to work collaboratively on a project, it would be great for their social health right now since they're working alone so much, if a pair up would work. If at all possible, giving video or audio feedback to your kids right now I think is really important. They really do want to hear your voice. Okay, guys, so if you have any other ideas on what's working to get them to stay engaged, that would be great. I asked my son what would work and he said money. So that really isn't a good option. I have seen a couple of teachers using jokes. So like on Monday, they post the question and then they also post the answer to like the riddle from Friday. So every day it keeps going and the kids' attendance is to try and figure out the riddle or joke or whatever it is. But who knows? Okay, so settings, we did the email notifications already. And a lot of you talked about just how you're streamlining your topics and your assignments, which is amazing. The other thing, well, I don't know. Do you guys like the stream?
That's where I always post my like morning attendance and just my welcome video for the day, and then everything else is so then that way parents can get on and watch that without all the extra stuff.
Nice.
Too.
So I love it. So it's really more of just announcements there on the stream. Cool.
Well, you can shut all the classwork assignments off of it, so it only shows the announcements.
Awesome.
So it's a little bit more, it is just that it's a little bit more streamlined for like your welcome for the day for parents to hear what you're doing, or kids to hear what you're doing, and then jump over to the classwork.
Awesome. Yes. Thanks, Desiree. So yeah, and that's how I like to do it too. So you can change that when you're in a specific class, and it's specific to only that class. Is right here, you go to settings, and when you scroll down a little bit, if my internet can handle it, you can change the stream. Oh, wait, what? Am I seeing something wrong? I see what I did wrong, but I'm going to give you a second to tell me what I did wrong. Might have been too fast. So I just went to stream here, which is only about who can comment and post, which is also important to know. So the classwork on stream is right here. So you could hide notifications. You can show condensed notification. Yeah, uncheck classwork on stream. Good catch, Mark. Good job. So that's super, super helpful just to streamline parents and kids looking at it. And this is nifty too. You can turn on or off the deleted items. I keep that. I don't want them to see things I've deleted. I don't know about you guys. All right, guys, how you doing? You want to try a game? Should we try it virtually and see if it'll work? No? Sure? Okay, so Quizlet Live says that it'll work in this environment. I have no idea if it will, but I think it would be a good test. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my Quizlet. And it says, so if we do live, you will be paired with someone and you can talk however you want to. I'm not sure how this is gonna work. How do you stop students from resubmitting Oh, good question. Does anyone know how to stop? That have already been graded. So like they press unsubmit and then they change it.
So yeah, I've had students resubmit assignments that already been graded.
Oh, geez.
And it gets redundant.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm wondering if it's here. I'm gonna have to Google this. How to turn off classroom resubmissions. Anyone know? Look at this. It's obviously a hot topic. So one tip too, I don't know if you noticed I did that, or maybe I didn't, but I always put Google support at the end of my search. Anytime I search for something for Google, because then I get legit Google Jazz. So we'll look real quick. Unfortunately not, Mark. Bummer. Darn them. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my Google Classroom folder here, and I'm gonna turn on Google Classroom. I'm super excited to try this with you guys. Do you think it's gonna work? No response. I got a thumbs up from Tanya, thank you. Okay, and live. Oh no, my internet is unstable. And it says I can do individuals. I don't know if this is gonna work, guys. Can you guys see that? So you would go to Quizlet.com/live and put in these numbers. 121 235. Yay, Jamie's in. Anna, ooh, oh, you have a icon, Anna. You must be like the Quizlet live genius. Do you see, Jamie, why did she get a cool icon? She used an emoji. How do you get in? So Tanya, if you go to Quizlet.com/live, maybe in a new tab, and then put the code in. Maybe I can also copy the game link and I can put it in the chat box. That would have been much smarter. So if you could click right on the link that's in the chat box too. All right. Anyone else want in or should we go? Okay, here we go. I don't know how, you have a partner in the World Wide Web. Okay, here we go. Oh, we've got, oh, you're individual. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna join too. Oh no! Woo! Give her a round of applause. Good Good job. Okay, I want to look at the stats here. I'm gonna mute my computer there. Was there, some of them must have been confusing. Did I have some bad questions? Yeah, Tanya's like, yes, you did. Okay, I need to review them. So what we learned, remove or mute a student. Oh yeah, so when you're in people, I'm not sure what you guys are doing right now for if you're allowing kids to comment, post, have discussions, things like that. But as we go further, you may want to turn that on. You can actually mute a specific student. Like maybe Kim is she just can't handle these online conversations. So I could mute her specifically until she earns, to have that discussion option back. Oh, the triangle, that was pretty tricky. Always press the triangle everywhere. It's super helpful. Oh, okay, I see why you guys got this one wrong. Because it's old, right? Now we add assignments in classwork instead of in the stream. So that's totally my bad. Yeah. And this is also changed. Geez, no wonder it took a while. That was fun though, and I can see how incorporating some of these games in your virtual meetings with your kids would maybe be a great way to teach them some new content. You could even post the game before your Zoom meeting with the kids and then cover what they missed so you can get some new content to them. So pretty fun. And Time to Climb, if you haven't gotten your upgraded Nearpod, you can email me and I can get you set up. But Time to Climb also works self-paced right now. All right, what questions or ideas do you have? Or are you just really glad it's Friday?
Hey, Shelley, I have a question about Time to Climb. I've never heard of it before. So you're saying Time to Climb?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So in Nearpod, yeah, it's Tanya, how would you describe it? It's just a little game inside of Nearpod where you've got like definitions and terms. And as the kids get it right, they go up a mountain. So if I search in the Nearpod lesson library for Time to Climb, it's part of Nearpod and it's always free. I'm not sure if this is going to be a good example. So basically kids get a join code and then they just answer questions. And as they get them right, their little avatar climbs the mountain. That's really all it does. I don't think it's going to let us preview it unless we actually play it. It's super cool. I could send you a self-paced one, Katie, all about border collies. Should I do that? Okay. Any other questions, thoughts, ideas?
I had a question about Google Classroom so now there is, well, and maybe it's been there forever, but now there is like a reuse this post tab. Awesome. So I have students working on a Google Slides presentation. If I click that reuse this post and it reposts the Google slide, does it create another new one or can they continue working off of their original one?
Oh, great question. So if they went into the new assignment, it would probably start a new one for them. But if they stayed in, Tanya's saying yes, she's done this. Okay, so they'd probably want to stay in the assignment they've already started.
So there's not a way to repost. So what happened, I posted one like last week for them to start.
Yeah.
But the kids are having a hard time remembering which day to go back to find it.
Yeah.
But there's not a way to repost for it to go back into theirs.
You could, okay, so you could choose, like, so if we're gonna reuse that post, so here, just like you said, reuse post, which is awesome. I'm so glad you know it. And we'll pretend that I have selected one. Okay, that's taking a long time. So we're gonna pretend I pressed reuse post and we grabbed it.
Okay.
You could just choose the specific students that you need it to go to again, if you wanted.
But then if they click on the PowerPoint or the Google Slides again, it opens a new one. Is that what I'm understanding from Tanya?
Yep. Go ahead, Tanya.
Sorry, I was having technical difficulties earlier. I would just use that link like Shelly was saying, like you need to go and do this one first if you only have like a handful of students. Remember how she put that link out?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would do it rather than trying to resend it.
Nice.
The other thing you can do when the students go into classwork, if they haven't submitted it, their little icon on the left-hand side stays whatever color you chose for that class.
Okay.
And once they've submitted it, it turns gray.
So if they click on that from there, it will always go back to theirs. I just didn't want them to make, so there's been one slide that they've done an activity on each day. And then at the end, now I have one Google Doc or Google Slides for each student.
Oh, cool.
That I can just go through and look at all 10 days for the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
But I have some that they've started a new one.
Oh.
So now I have 10 individual Google.
Oh, shoot.
Slide.
And that's what'll happen if you reuse that assignment.
Okay.
It'll create a whole new thing.
We were just, and granted, some of them are fourth graders doing it, so they're learning how to navigate it.
Absolutely.
So when they're hitting submit, now I have 10 new submissions from them instead of 1. So I was just trying to see if there was a way to do it where they always would end up back on the one they were working on.
Oh, yeah. That's tough. I like Tanya's idea of, go to your slides and just add a new slide. Yep.
Okay.
That's good. Awesome. Another thing I put here, and actually, so on that BPSTIS site where we have all of those distance learning things, in the Google Classroom, okay, this is kind of confusing, so I'm just going to show you. If you go to Family Resources for Tech Tools, and I've got it linked on our slides here, but there's a student folder now. So you can share different tutorials with the kids, because just like you said, they're learning all of this too. And it's pretty overwhelming, I think. So it's right here, Student Tech Resources. And then also in this, maybe I'll just link this whole folder in the chat right now. But in this Family Resources, it talks about what these tools are so that parents and kids can use them a little bit more effectively at home. So I'm just going to put this whole link right in the chat there. And the most frustrating thing for me now that I've been teaching for a long time is the kids figure it out like in one video tutorial and I have to watch it 10 times, but that's okay. Okay, so there's a few more links in here, but this I kind of wanted to end on. I so value that you're taking time to learn here today. And one thing that makes me so proud just to be in the profession with you is we're automatically in this growth zone. And by having you here with me today, I know that. Like, you're learning and you're giving back to everyone in our community and your students. So I so appreciate that you're not in the fear zone like so many people are, and keep it up. And that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording, and I'll be on for a few seconds in case you have any questions.